Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing good. I am doing okay. I thought I had so I didn't have my head. Oh, okay. So I didn't have my head cut off. Excuse me a second. Oh, and thought I had the lighting right and everything. Ah, so it's okay. Um, yeah, I was gonna tell you. Well, yesterday, last evening in particular, we had some bad storms. I mean, as far as cloudy weather, and it does affect my internet. And I was listening to a live stream over on Robin's Hood, and he didn't have his sound on. Oh, this still is bugging me. Wait, maybe I can get it perfect. Well, anyway, he didn't have the sound on, and people couldn't hear what he was saying. And I can read lips, usually, unless they're like turning to the side. Sometimes that's a little difficult. And I was able to understand quite a bit of it till I had to get up and do something. And usually, with a video or a live, I'll just leave it playing and go do what I got to do. And then, I can hear it. But yeah, I had stuff to do, so I missed the ending of it. But then when he was like answering questions or talking with people in the comment section or the chat log, and I saw that the chat log was like geez, a few minutes lagging. So I thought I was like it was like perfectly timed, but it wasn't. And but and then later in the evening the internet got a little better, and now all the clouds are gone today and we've got sunny weather and things are looking pretty good. But yeah. Oh, I was listening to a monograph last night, and he has always professed that he's an atheist. And I tried to reason with him years ago, and it's like, yeah, well, this is not getting me anywhere. And I knew for the most part that I thought, well, this is a decent human being, there's some hope there. 49 minutes in on his video last night, he explains why he now believes in God, and basically told everybody, um, just forget everything that he always said about it, and this is why he believes in it. And I was a little bit astounded. This is about the third really anti God, I mean, or just not even believing in God person that, I mean, strongly had very strong beliefs like that, um, that now believes in God. So that's a good sign, Pretty cool. That made my day. It really did. So there. Oh, I was gonna tell you about. I don't know all the details about it, but I do know our friend is a good person and an honest person. This one I'm going to tell you about. He had some problems with his ex-wife, um, when they got separated, with him and the children involved. And yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Doug had stopped at his house. Excuse me. They do like a lot of business dealings, like barter with vehicles or car parts or whatever through the years, decades now. And we knew him when he was quite young. He's 46 now. But so anyway, this guy I'm talking about, the cops had just left his house, and he is on Social Security disability. He's got a incision all the way down his chest they opened them up and had to do things in there health wise and whatever. Excuse me just a moment. Um, okay, and so the cops come to his house that day, and he was really shook when Doug got there because they said they had this piece of paper that they wanted him to sign. He had made They thought he had made some kind of mistake on this form that he had filled out, but he didn't. It was his ex wife saying something that wasn't true. So they told this man who is actually injured and trying to heal that either you sign this paper right now or we're taking you to jail. He was like, okay. He signed it, and he wrote where he signed it, I am signing this under duress, you know. So when Doug got there, our friend was just like really shook up, and I'm glad Doug showed up there for him at that time. So, and I know he's been being hit with witchcraft too, because when you have God in your heart, the people that realize that, and believe me, they know it right away. Even if you don't know it, they know it. Believe me, they just do. And you can try and blend in by being like so with these people, and that's really not even gonna help either, you know. Excuse me. I just dumped my ashtray in my trash. Sorry about that. Just thinking, or not thinking while I was talking, rather. Or was I? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know today. My video is I don't know. I don't know anything. Doesn't that keep me safe if I know nothing? Yeah, it would. Boy, that must be a luxury. One I don't have. Anyway, so legally, that made me feel like talk about a communistic police state coming to this man's house and telling him, you either sign the paper or we're taking you in right now. Excuse me. It's not just the cigarettes. I was cleaning with ammonia yesterday, and it kind of got me. It's well, it the fumes are gaseous. You know, I should have had a mask on actually, probably, because I made it like super strength so it would cut through a bunch of stuff. And then I washed windows and stuff, and I have this glass cleaner called Spray Away. It's really good stuff, but and it's supposed to be ammonia free, but I think it's got alcohol in it. So between them two, the last few days I've had a lot of been around a lot of toxins. So I got to do it though. And no, vinegar does not work on everything like that. Have you ever really, like these people will use vinegar and water and wash their windows and clean it with a newspaper crumpled up? Good luck with that, you know? No, the real stuff works. If you know what Zep spray away is, we used cases of that when we worked in body shops, and even in our own shop, we use it for detailing or whatever because it's really good stuff. Where Doug's cat, I call him boogers on the window, but he'll go and get his paw wet. Then he'll go on these places that I have for him to look out, but he'll smear up the window. He sits there waving at the outside kitties, and there'll be streaks of kitty paws about like that wide and as far up as he can reach, you know? It's like, so I call them kitty boogers, but they are hard to get off, you know. And I can't beat the cat. I tell him when he's doing it not to do it, but I'll go. Bob, don't. And he'll stop, but then he'll start again. So, like I say, I can't beat it out of him. So I end up having to wash the windows for it. And that's the best stuff I've found. It's like you spray it on and it doesn't leave any streaks. You clean it up, even if you leave like a spot where it isn't dry yet. You don't have to sit there like Windex or something and go over it and over it and over it. This stuff I'm talking about, it's about, oh, two something a can, like under $3, but it's really worth it. It saves you so much time. And no, I'm not selling any products or promoting any. I'm just telling my friends about a good thing that works quick. So, yeah. So that's basically what I've been doing is just spring cleaning. It's harder. I mean, I do usually do my windows like 3, 4 times a year at least, but and out in the country they do get a little dirtier than city windows, you know. They really do. I've lived in both places. I know the difference. So, yeah, there you don't have as much dust and dirt because we have a dirt road. It's constantly dusty, you know. So, but yeah, our friend was really shook up. And the thing is, he's a gun collector. And here's the worst part about it. When he was his first gun he bought when he was being trained by his dad, he picked out a 44 and it's got a very large barrel. It's a little different than most 44. It was a custom gun. So he's had this side piece and other guns, but he had it out on his coffee table. And he's got a medical marijuana license. So he has his herb out and his gun on the table. These cops show up, which he's legal with both of them. And he has a permit to carry in our state too. And it was registered since he was 12 years old. But can you imagine? They asked if they could come in, and he let them in the foyer. And there's a wall, you have to go up his stairs, and there's a wall in between the living room and the foyer. And but can you imagine if he had let them in and they walked in and saw that, what they would have done to our friend, even though he's totally within his legal rights with everything, it still probably would have been really bad for a minute there and could have even got worse if our friend had like lost his temper or something. So it was a little bit unnerving for him, you know. So yeah. And yes, he needs all of the above where he lives and the things he's been through, um, almost literally dying, and people that would want him dead. And yeah, it's not pretty. So, but yeah, I could just see the cops walking in that living room and seeing that on that table and whipping out their weapons. And then our friend's a little hot tempered. That might have been enough to shock him into reactionary language anyway. So I don't know. It wouldn't have been good for him. It wasn't good for him anyway. The way they did it, they didn't try and call him. They didn't try and contact him. They just showed up at his house and said, "Sign Z papers, little boy," you know. So anyway, commie bastards. Yeah, that's horrible. So, like I say, I was really glad Doug showed up there for him because he was able to calm him down. And, you know, that's usually, we have friends that are, when they go through really rough times, they come over here and usually tell us about it because we are wise like that and we can calm people down like that. We're both pretty good at it. Doug is too, and He's gotten better. I swear the Christ Spirit is going in people, but like Doug said too, there's people that don't have souls. Now, if he's tricking me and playing like everything's going to be okay someday, I'm not going to be happy about it, and I'm not just going to be silent about it either. I'm going to raise hell if that happens. So, this is the last fucking chance with all these people that have acted like narcissists and the rest of their stuff in this world, you know. I'm serious about it too. Like they say, serious as a heart attack, you know. So, yeah. Well, one thing about this Trump trial and indicting presidents for illegal things that they've done in the past, that leaves the door open for all of them that have done illegal things through the decades. Like Bill Clinton, for instance, and what was her name? Paula Dean, I think. He paid a woman to go away. Now, the new thing I heard, I don't know why it would be involved, or one of the payments that Trump made to somebody is supposedly a child that he had out of wedlock. Well, I don't know how much of what is true. And really, that shouldn't have any bearing on who's in a White House or who's our president or whatever. But, you know, the integrity of a human being, you know, can they change? I believe it. I really believe it is possible. I've been like, for instance, a friend of mine really, really loves his wife. I mean, this is no joke. He's totally heartbroken because he didn't get the same uh, feelings that he put out. I've been praying big time in that situation and asked Doug to also. I don't know if he has, but you know, two people praying for the same thing. And of course, my friend's going to be praying about it. So maybe with all of that, and I'm pretty sure he probably prays for Doug too. So um, I would hope so. But you know, maybe people really getting together and putting their minds together like that, and their souls and their good thoughts. Maybe we're making an impact on this planet. I'm hoping, you know, like the really, really bad ones, the people that are they people? Are they soulless? I guess none of us can really prove anything like that. And they've been known to act nice for a while till they get what they want. Like for me, for instance, what Doug would want is not only my help around here, but for me not to torture him. So if he did a little bit of nice things for me and he could shut me up for a while. But something seems different this time. I just can't put my finger on it yet. But I'll keep you posted if anything changes. You know me, I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to let you know because this is the bloodline that I'm battling, you know. And I've always tried to reach them with love, always, until I finally got a little pissed off and started saying, okay, you want a war, you want to fight. I'll get up in your face and we'll flip and fight then. You know, if you want it like that, I'll let you strike me first, you know, which I did and did not strike back. Not much, actually, you know, nothing that would constitute actual battery, you know. But yeah, just thinking back at a memory, one time Doug had told me to go boff my child in front of my kid, and I just, in one step, just did a judo kick. I didn't hurt him. It was the flat of my foot, and I pushed him out of his chair. He went flying into the corner. My kick is over 400 pounds of pressure. It was the best in my judo class. And so, yeah, and I know how to apply it where I won't even hurt you. But he was surprised to go flying out of his chair. You know, you just don't say stuff like that to people, you know? So, and that was out of jealousy. And I used to think it was because he had feelings like that about his daughter that he couldn't control. I still don't know. That's between him and his maker. Hopefully that's not true, you know. But people are weird. And I've seen a lot of weird things out of that bloodline. So I don't know. And like I say, I'm just talking. I'm talking how I feel in my heart. Nothing I say, it's nothing he doesn't know. It's nothing I haven't said to him or even said on videos before. I'm talking about real life issues with real people that have actual control in this world that's unseen, you know? So, so if you can make a friend with an enemy and work together to compromise on things that need to be done in this world, that's probably about the most important thing any of us can do. You know, make something good out of a bad situation, and let it be known that this is their learning tool, not mine. You know, I'm not here for myself. And people do know that now. They didn't at first, but it's like, oh, no, no, don't play that with me. I'm not that. I've never been that, you know. So, yeah, that thing about Jamie Dimon, people like that, you know, calling for governments to seize property and whatever. I don't think I'll ever see that in my life. Future generations, if you don't stand up for, you know, it's like, okay, for instance, if I grow rhubarb or asparagus, which I do, or tomatoes occasionally and different things. I've had big gardens, but I'm not doing that anymore. Um, but if I give a cucumber to my neighbor or somebody that lives in an apartment, but you live in an apartment or you're living in town and you're not standing up for the people that can grow that cucumber for you or whatever other vegetable or whatever, um, you are lessening the chances of having the freedom of having your own food without the government having control over that in your life. It's a really big deal to take care of the stewards of the land and not let these monsters push people around, you know. So, do you know the difference, of course, probably between a farmer's market or the Amish or the grocery store and the quality of what you get in those type of places, you know? Do you really want the government to control your food? They already control your water and there's fluoride in there. I mean, what the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA lets out, like bug killer in all your cereals, you know, where other countries like France or whatever, we couldn't even sell our products to them because there's so much poison in them that our government allows. You know, that's a pretty big deal, the stuff that's going on that is slowly killing America, or quicker by the day, and the economy will never recover if they don't get a handle on it right now. It's going down so quick. And the justice system? What justice system? What democracy, right? We don't even have one. There's no justice. These people have been allowed to lie and cheat and connive and take what is supposed to be the corporation of the United People and allow other entities from other countries to come in and take total control over what is meant to be ours. Like the feds, for instance, need to go. The Federal Reserve needs to go. And there needs to be a banking system within our country, a real one. And there are people that can finance banks and stuff like that. This is all possible, you know, without their dirty little fingers and their inflation in there. Because once our dollar is so inflated and they keep printing it, it won't recover, you know. So, like usual, just things that are on my mind today, you know, like the beautiful weather. Wow. We're going to have, I think next Tuesday, 70 degrees. Easter, I think, is going to be, what they say, like 65 degrees or something out there. That's pretty cool, you know. I saw a meme today. It was an egg with no yolk in it, and it was cut in half. And it said the chicken used a condom, and I had to correct him. No, the rooster used the condom for the hen. Yes, they're all chickens, and technically a chicken used a condom, but that's like saying human and balling them all together like that and not separating the male and the female. Yeah, that's to me kind of an issue going on today in our world, isn't it? It's like, well, there's a dog, okay, and the dog used a condom. Well, I guess the female could have used the condom on the male, you know. So, yeah, technicalities. So, but yeah, I don't know. To me, it seemed like that meme was made by somebody that has never raised or been around farms or been around raising chickens or anything, because they would have said the rooster used a condom. But, you know, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, the chicken can lay an egg without a rooster. Doesn't mean it's going to be fertile. It needs to be fertilized to make the baby after it incubates and hatch. But the egg is still like a female. We have eggs in us, but they need to be fertilized by the male. And it's not something that we can do as human beings by ourselves. It takes one of the opposite sex, one each,